So, Laura, you are the first ambassador for Leeds Women's Aid, is that correct?
Correct.
What made you want to get involved and how does it feel to have the esteemed privilege of that title?
Well, I'm Leeds born and bred, so I'm extremely passionate about my city. I also was in a emotionally abusive relationship, and when Leeds Women's Aid reached out to me and just asked if I'd get involved in the charity in some way, obviously to be the first ever ambassador was such an honour. And I'm a really independent woman. I think that women should be free to live their lives as they choose. I believe that women should learn how to be financially free and financially secure, so that if they ever find themselves in a situation that they no longer want to be in, then they have that ability to leave without having to think about their finances. So that's a message that I share and have shared for many years, and the work that Leeds Women's Aid do just aligns perfectly with that message. So yeah, a real honour to kind of team up with them.
Were you made aware about them through your own situation, or were you aware about them prior to that?
Yeah, I've known about Leeds Women's Aid for years. Personally, I didn't need the service. I had a really good support network with my family and my friends, but my auntie actually used the service many, many years ago now, and she lived in one of the accommodations that they provide. So I've known about them for forever. And since announcing my ambassadorship, I've been so overwhelmed with literally hundreds of messages from people who have said Leeds Women's Aid literally saved my life, I can't thank them enough, the service that they provide is incredible. So yeah, just to be a part of that kind of message is, yeah, it's a real honour.
I think that's one of the things that you find, isn't it, is like once you sort of align yourself with it, I think the confidentiality of what the organisation does is incredible, because people approach you and you're like, wow, I wouldn't known you would, needed that or gone through that, and then they're happy to like reach out afterwards, you know what I mean? And it always strikes a chord, just the amount of people that this does impact society.
100%, and I think it's a conversation that just needs to be normalised. So there are Samantha, who's a part of Leeds Women's Aid, when I told her the situation that I'd been in, I kind of tried to play it down. You said, no, all situations are bad and they shouldn't happen and it shouldn't be like that. For me, I like to think that I'm a relatively intelligent woman, so to have not really seen the signs when they were happening, it wasn't really until I kind of got towards the end of the relationship when I realised that it was extremely emotionally abusive. Fortunately for me, I was the one, he was living in my house, he was living off me, I was paying for everything, so I had to tell him to leave. And the life that I had before him was better than the life that I had with him. So it eventually felt easy to leave, whereas a lot of women, the life that they have without that person is far too scary to ever leave. So it's just been really interesting, the kind of women that have come forward that you would never really expect, and just proves that domestic violence and emotional abuse and all these things can happen to anyone.
And has no place.
Has no place, yeah. It doesn't care about creed, gender, age. It's literally everyone. And I think it's really important for us to kind of like educate the next generation of men and women to spot the signs and men to know what's acceptable and what's not, which is why these conversations are so important.
Cool. So as an ambassador, then, how do you feel your role? How are you going to be able to spread the word?
I think through me sharing my personal story and what I've been through, I think just opening up those conversations and letting people know there's no judgment. You're not in the wrong. You're not less worthy, and it doesn't mean that you can't go on and have happiness and joy, and that actually you can still have an amazing life, and that this situation does not define you.
I think that's key, that there's something afterwards.
100%. So I think my role is just kind of showing people that you can be a strong, independent woman and you don't need to rely on anyone, whether you're in an abusive relationship or not, just in general, just to love being on your own, love your own company, see life as one big adventure, and realise that you can literally wake up tomorrow and decide to change your life, and that if you are in an emotionally abusive relationship or suffering from domestic violence, you've got Leeds Women's Aid to kind of help you get out of that as well.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Cheers.
Asking for what? Exactly. Asking for what? Asking for what? Exactly.